Buenos dias, Juan El Tardamenda Amanda. I don't know. No God, no God. Oh boy. I came.
You're fat and you talk like a moron.
Susanna wasn't going to be you. Man, I'm an idiot. I have feelings. You ever crank your heart? I just got a new. Help my mother get cocky. You're gonna fucking pay for all your sins, brah. I didn't order anything, sorry. Please go away, I didn't order anything. Now, fuck off. We are done. You're dead to me. You're a fucking loser. Leave me alone. Vamos. Go hang out with High Pitch Eric some more, because you got no fucking friends.
What I love about penis ring.
God, I love penis ring.
Zero life.
Now, let me tell you something, Johnny boy. I'm wise to you.
Mike gave me the steamer from Cleveland.
And I'm like, this shit there. Shuli is my daddy. Tuki, I hope your kids end up being gay. Shuli is my daddy. So whip it. Whip it good. You dumb fuck. You dumb fuck. Hello.
You think it'd come and hurt me?
What a fucking hypocrite.
Guy's kicking my ass. Catholic grade school, I was blowing a lot of dudes. Grabbed my face and then he raped me.
I would beat the fuck out of Shuli. Knock Deuce Payer out of one shot and fucking Deuce Payer. Ass. Hey, Deuce Payer, Deuce Payer. How was him?
Get out of here. Fuck, April fucking never comes.
Take it fucking easy, potato.
Window update. We're here, tech here to launch.
Did you hear that, Hackverse? Did you hear that, Shuli's Anonymous?
Me and DT are lovers.
This is content. Oh, John's out. Alcohol. Yes. Dom DeLuise. Does Susanna have big areolas? I never had a desire to go into Joseph. Vulnerable. Wait. Uh-oh. Wait. Hold on.
Point DabblePoint.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Point DabblePoint. That's right. This is a roundtable discussion about the world, the gift that keeps giving, which is Stuttering John. Joining me this week, you know him. Some of you love him. Some of you hate him. No, not me. I'm talking about Carl from WATP Live and whoarethees.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Hamburger.
Thanks
Carl?
for having me, Shuli. I'm excited to talk about this week in Stuttering John because, like I say every week, wow, a lot has happened. Holy shit.
It never slows down. It's
doesn't slow down.
unbelievable. Thank you for bringing Andy with you. Andy, it's great to see you. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm doing the old
Yeah,
Stuttering John.
Toledo, yeah.
Appropriate cup too. It's a Grammar Police cup. And,
Yeah. Did you get that in the NBC gift shop like John got his?
Well, we were just talking about this on All Apologies podcast that there's no way it was coffee in this cup, right? It was definitely Coors Light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He
So-
kept the Ed McMahon tradition
Yeah.
of booze on the show for sure.
It's
And-
old Hollywood.
Yeah, it's right. It was a different time. And let me tell you something. This guy is timeless. Winner of the what was it? Biggest fucking awesome
Lifetime
dude.
Achievement Award in
Yeah, that
dabbling
thing.
technology.
Yeah, that's it.
Asshole.
Ladies and gentlemen, the puppet we all know and love. The potato we all know and love.
Yeah,
Cardiff
Tukey
Electric.
couldn't be here, so everybody, Cardiff Electric, everyone.
It's amazing. Tukey always has something to do when I call and ask him to do the show. Now I know why. Got it.
Well, luckily, I can't talk about Stuttering John, so I won't be saying much today.
You just prepare to see a potato nodding quite a bit during the show. Gentlemen, a wild week. It all really came to a head in Atlantic City, something that's been building and building and building. And really, there's been two Johns leading up to this. There's pre-AC John, and then there's post-AC John. And I think we have a little clip here to give you guys a bit of an example of what we're talking about. Let's get this up there. Froggy, you got it? Oh, I see it down there.
Dad, nobody can stomach the Zumick. This is a message to you. I reported you not only to YouTube, but I reported you to Twitter. Now, I never said that I was going to do anything violent to you. In fact, all I ever say, because I'm smart, unlike you dumb fuck, all I ever say is I don't, if you see me, look the other way. Joe, you've heard me say that. Either I say that or I say, I don't know what I don't know what I'll do. If I say, when you see me in a room, look the other way, that's not threatening. It just means I don't want to deal with you. If I say, I don't know what I'm going to do if I see you in a room, that's not threatening. Maybe I'm going to cry. Maybe I'm going to celebrate. You can't even get me for an implication. You can try.
Attorney Melendez.
I love. Maybe I'll break down and have a panic attack. Maybe I'll celebrate.
Yeah. Maybe I'll add another layer of underwear to my bleeding asshole.
I mean, two complete opposite ends of the spectrum, you know?
It ain't gonna, I'm sorry for using big words, KB. sorry, Pinky. I'm using 3, 4, sometimes 5-syllable words. I'm sorry. Vince, I can't wait to see you in Atlantic City. I'm gonna end up beating the shit out of you. No, I'm only kidding. I'm not a violent man. But just don't come up to me and say hello. That's all I say. Just don't. If you see me there, just look the other way. Walk the other way. I don't want anything to do with you.
Other than your rooms and the suite and anything else, beer, food,
A little gambling money.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't want nothing from you.
Unless there's something to be gained from it.
Yep.
Then he has Chad fucking Zumick on. Now, Chad, I know you think you're a big tough guy. And you said that you're going to come up to me in AC and just stare at me. Chad, how about this? This is very simple. You think you're a tough guy. I'll tell you what. Just, I don't know. I'm not a violent guy. Melton's a coward. He sits in that little fucking cubbyhole doing his show. And Melton, When I'm in AC, do not approach me. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. This is not fun and games to me. This is personal. Do you understand? Don't come up to me. Don't even say hello. Just leave me the fuck alone. You fat fuck. Okay, so here's the shit where we'll watch a little bit of this idiot. And then we'll add him light, and then I'll just destroy him. But where is the shit whale? Shit whale, why don't you come up to me, but not in the casino? Look, man, I'm not gonna get thrown out. I'm 58 years old. I'm not gonna fucking go get thrown out of a fucking casino. I'm not gonna get Vince in any trouble. He was nice enough to give me the room, nice enough to fly me out here. I am not gonna get Vince in any trouble. I have respect for people. You know, Vince, I can't wait to see you in Atlantic City. I'm going to end up beating the shit out of you.
So a tale of two Johns, if you will. And real quick, just want to welcome everybody here. I didn't get a chance to say it. For all of you here, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification button, and turn on accept gifted memberships. The link is in the description. You might get one. Thank you to everybody here watching, super chat, and donating. Thoughts on the two Johns, gentlemen? Cardiff, what are your thoughts?
How do you spell buffoon?
Ask Kate Meany.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He is. I sent Joe a clip. I don't know if he wants to put it up, but Carl, I think you surmised the current state of the Dabbleverse pretty well, and it inspired me. It made me remember an old Looney Tunes clip where the Roadrunner would just punch in and out of the clock.
Morning, Sam. Morning, Ralph. Have a good day. It's too close to quitting time, Ralph. Let's pick it up there in the morning. Okay, Sam. Good night. Good night, Ralph. Pleasant dreams.
This is spot on. I was actually talking to Melton about this because Patrick Melton and KB are hanging out all day on Super Bowl Sunday. They're best buds. Melton gets a photo, a little selfie of the two of them smiling happy. And then as soon as he posted on Twitter, people were like, "What the fuck, Kevin? I thought we all were supposed to hate Patrick Melton." Oh, we do hate Patrick Melton. He snuck up on me and took that photo. I don't even like him. This is all work. This whole fucking AC proved the Dabbleverse is a fucking joke. All these assholes pretend they don't like each other. The only true man is Bob, which, by the way, I have a third angle of the video.
Oh,
yes. I'll be premiering that at WATP. But anyway, yes, Cardiff, I'm 100% with you on this. This proves this is all a joke. All of this fucking build up to this event, look the other way. I don't know what I'll do. And then it all came down to telling security that guy was talking shit about my kids. I want him to apologize to me.
Yeah.
What?
Telephone tough guy is the way I would describe that.
Do you remember how much shit MLC fans gave me when I made up the fake story about the fake puncher for Chad?
Right.
Yes.
But they're okay with this.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that like you said, you were public enemy number one after the bit about the guy who punched Chad, and then this guy every other day, if they'll trash me or Bob, it doesn't matter what the history is there. He'll have him on in a second because at the end of the day, he's full of shit. That's what we're talking about here. It's all bullshit, Andy, did you have something you wanted to say about this?
Just that when you're on the internet, that's not real life. And once you're faced with people in person, it becomes a whole different scenario that it's all telephone tough guy bullshit. He talks a big game when he's alone in his apartment saying, we were just watching his stream from yesterday where he's refusing to roast battle Ray, but then he proceeds to basically tell all his roast jokes to nobody. But he won't have Ray on to defend himself.
Right.
It wasn't even about telling the jokes to nobody. It was about doing it where Ray couldn't fight back and embarrass him, and he couldn't lose. So that's why he was doing. That's the kind of pussy we're talking about.
It's the old one-sided roast.
Ah, yeah. The nobody's home roast.
Yeah.
Lady Di, Stuttering John is adopting the essence of other whack packers. He's got Eric the Midget's stubborn anger, Jeff the drunk's logic, and Gary is there to fill in the gaps.
It's pretty good assessment. Yes.
Cardiff rules, John drools. Hi, Shuli, Andy, Frosty. Hello, Water Melton. Thank you, buddy. Red. Carl met your brother Saturday, nearly killed him and his wife driving back to the casino from Gino's show. Got us back just in time to be with Bob when he lost it on KB and got to smell John in person. What a weekend. What am I doing with my life? You know, Red, you were there. Let me ask you, because I had this question. For people who were there, and if you're in the chat, you know, feel free to answer this. Would you say Atlantic City was a success? I'm curious as to.
Oh, yeah. Let me address this too, because, and obviously Vince is a lunatic and no one takes anything he says seriously. But when Vince was trying to say that Shuli and I should have been in Atlantic City because this is an important event for the Dabbleverse. No. Where I should be is at Subreddit Surfing on March 9th, because that's an actual event. There's a show we're doing. I should be in Largo, Florida, March 22nd, WATPlive.com. I should be in Las Vegas, Hackamania.com. We actually put on real events with real shows. It's not just a bunch of 60-year-olds pretending to fight each other in a casino.
Right. It's a bunch of trolls bouncing off of each other in an enclosed space.
Pathetic, but Red, thank you on behalf of my brother and sister-in-law for the ride. Appreciate that. Probably saved him $8 or $9 for the Uber.
Well,
do better next time.
Yeah. But Red brings up another thing I wanted to ask specifically you about, Carl, is your family spent quite a lot of personal time with John in Atlantic City. And I'm just curious about that. Like, do you talk to them about that? Is that frustrating? Are you telling them not to get involved and they're still getting involved, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I talked to my brother about it afterwards. He gave me a pretty good rundown. In fact, he's the one who took some video footage that no one has seen yet of some of the events. And my brother did a great job of talking to John about the shit that John has said about our father and about our family. And he talked to Vince about some of the shit. Oh, and Vince is such a weasel. This guy backtracks. So my brother goes, hey, Vince, you know, you called my daughter-in-law this word and that word. And, oh, no, John said it. And it was just a callback. And I wouldn't say anything like that. Like, Vince doesn't stand behind anything he says. You see that when he goes on John's show. You see it on his show. It's a waste. That guy's a waste of time. I can't describe it any other way. He's just a waste of time. I told my brother, I'm like, it's not even worth talking to the guy. It doesn't. Nothing you say matters. He went on the show the next day and just lied about every conversation they had. So it's like, what's the point?
Well, and he likes the favorite move of his is he goes, well, I don't remember that. He goes, if I did say that, I don't remember that. And it's like, well, oh, okay. Well, I guess you didn't say.
Not that I want to defend Vince the lawyer. He is a piece of shit. We can all agree. But when he's doing it to John, it's very obviously manipulation. Like John, he's fooling John. When he does it to people with normal intelligence, it's insulting.
Right. Yeah. When he tries to do the talking around someone to my brother goes, okay, see, this is the problem, is that you start the premise with a lie and then you argue from there. Like that's not a conversation. You can't have a conversation that way. Now, John doesn't realize that Vince loves hanging out with High Pitch Eric the same way he loves hanging out with Stuttering John. High Pitch and John are the same person to Vince.
Yeah.
John, if you want to go to Yankees games this year, guess what? Vince will pay for you. Be sitting right behind home plate. I guarantee. If you want, it's there for you.
He's like a guy, but instead of having a hot chick on his arm, he wants a drooling idiot on his arm when he walks into a public place, and he's drawn to that. He really is.
He needs a mutant to make him look normal.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
I think part of it is like he knows that people will pay attention to him if he's with somebody that's weird enough to get attention. You know what I mean? He's attaching himself to that weirdness to get noticed, because nobody's going to notice on his own. And the funniest thing John's ever done, I think we can all agree, was ripping the hat off of Vince's head.
That was the one time I've ever seen Vince get defensive. And
he got mad
about something. He was mad.
Yeah.
Because he even talked about it, and he had excuses. Well, I got hat hair. What are you going to do? Of course, it's going to look weird when you have hat hair. That was the one time I've ever seen Vince, and then John, he's on Vince's show, or John's has him on a show, and goes, "Take your hat off." He's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." It's like that is, you can see there's a little bit of kryptonite there. All of a sudden,
you've got hat lack of hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you have hat hair in one spot. There's where there's hair. That's where you have hat hair. Shuli's agent. I've been trying to call you. Shuli, what's the deal with Patrick Melton? He went on an unhinged rant about you on his show earlier. You are a good comedian and people find you fun. Well, tell that to the clubs. You're my goddamn agent. It's some fucking work. Yeah, I don't know. I'll look into it. Don gifted one. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
Want to be ballers that they're not.
Why isn't Stuttering John the GOAT on his show lately? Why isn't Stuttering John?
Oh, yeah, he doesn't declare himself the GOAT anymore.
Oh,
Maybe that's part of his love affair with Kevin Brennan. He sees him as an equal, so maybe he's not the greatest of all time. Him and Brennan are and sometimes Pat Dixon.
well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but in a recent episode with Vince, I mean, John literally has a crush. Like, it's not even a joke anymore. He turned into a girl who's in love with their professor in college. Do you have this clip? Because oh, look at this.
Symptoms, yeah.
And that's why Dawn's in the hospital and you and I are fucking talking on the air right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's weird because it's transmitted through saliva. We were all so close. You were basically making out with that dude, Kevin, and everyone must have it now.
I wasn't making out with Kevin.
You wish you were, man.
Oh,
God.
I was not in
Do you think he likes me back?
he's blushing. He's blushing right now. It's unbelievable.
And they just prevent.
What a night Melendez this guy is.
What a night. Oh, what a night.
You and I are fucking talking on the air right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's weird because it's transmitted through saliva. We were all so close. You were basically making out with that dude, Kevin, and everyone must have it now.
I wasn't making out with Kevin.
You wish you were, man. I've never seen you so in love with a guy.
I was not in love. Well, I find him very funny. I will
say this: he is very charming.
Oh my God! I was just gonna say that, Vince. You're so right. He's so charming.
John also loves hot dogs from 7-Eleven. So there could be a correlation there or something. I saw a video of them. John walked right up to Kevin and just hugged him immediately, like immediate embrace. And the shit they've talked about each other over the last few months. That's what I mean. This is all work. This is a joke.
He's charming the pants off of me.
Yeah, he swept the gal right off his feet.
Yeah, John was all mad when Vince, said that he went through John's pants.
Right.
He wasn't upset with Kevin for doing that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Not at all. Please, he backed up to him like a cat. Lawyer John, Your Honor, the defense sweats. Thank you, Chris. Mason in Portland, Carl, who needs AA more, John or Chad? Mason in Portland, good question.
That is a good question. And I will tell you from the accounts that I've heard. Now, John definitely made the biggest drunken fool of himself over the weekend. And it's hilarious to me that everyone's like, well, give John the W. I mean, if the guy's doing what we all thought he would do, drink 25 beers a night. Great. Good for him.
I didn't think he could do it.
Yeah, wow. He pulled it off. But I have to say that from what I've heard, and we saw Chad was still on his bender on Tuesday. He was still in the midst of this bender that started on, when did he get into town? Friday or Saturday? And I'm forgetting. Saturday.
Yeah.
So he gets into town on Saturday, meets up with my brother and sister-in-law, and does his show Saturday night. And he's still wasted by Tuesday. And I have to say, from what I've heard, the guy can't control his hand. He's shaking all the time. His eyes are bloodshot. He looks like he's not long for this world. And he even said on MLC, I played it on my show, and I feel bad. He needs help. Like, he came out and said, he's like, I need help. And they made a joke out of it, but he's not joking.
Yeah.
He needs help. For real.
I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know.
And the problem with both of these guys is there's no one who loves them around them. They're the kind of people that only attract either the hangers on or the people like Vince who just want to exploit them.
Yeah.
So Chad doesn't have someone in his life who's going to be like, hey buddy, come on. Come with me. We gotta do something about this.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get this fixed. Cause I think Chad would go along with that at this point. I think he knows.
Yeah. I think Chad is savable if
Yes.
given the opportunity. I think John is way past that point.
Yes, I mean there's a 10-year difference, which is part of it. You know, once you get, I think Dr. Drew said this, like once you get into your 60s, you're not changing.
Yeah.
You know,
Well-
a drug addict or an alcoholic in their 60s, you're not going to convince them to stop what they're doing.
What Chad needs is his mom to send him super chats saying, "Stop drinking so much."
Yes.
Yeah, that was an amazing moment this week. John's mom, well, I think it was in Atlantic City when he was all hungover in the room the next morning, and she's
No, it was-
like,
It's when he was
this is-
drunk at night.
either way,
Yeah.
she said it's killing you. You need to stop.
So I have a theory about this. John has started a new time slot since then.
Yeah.
He's back to 11 a.m. his time for his podcast. I think it's because he doesn't want his mom watching him drink every day.
Yeah. He's just pounding Mountain Dew and water. Like it's
And
beer.
Ensure. Don't
Yeah,
forget
it's hungover,
Ensure.
John.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got to lose some weight. So
That was maybe every week. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing he's ever said, and then he tops it every week.
the
you
breakfast
say-
of cancer patients.
You say at 60 there's no changing. That's not true. He made a big change this week.
Oh, right.
By-
New John.
New John, by admitting he doesn't give a fuck about his kids or what you say about them. So by all means, green light, let it rip,
Can we-
according to John.
I'm sorry I'm talking so much, but I have to address this. I have some notes written down. So
Please.
much going on this week, like I said. So he talked about the conversation he had with his kids, you know, general conversation. I don't know if it's a group text thread or what's going on. But you know he's lying because any bad writer you can spot because everyone has the same voice. Every character talks the same way. And apparently his kids went to him and they said, now look at the trolls know you're a great father. And that's why they do this to get to you because they know, but you love your kids. Like, John, this is not what your kids would say. This is what you would say. You're lying. This did not happen.
Dad, you know we're from Massapequa. This is not how we handle things.
So then my kid said, don't you remember writing for the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar roast and the pro football arm wrestling?
I was just going to bring that up. He's been bringing up this arm wrestling.
Head writer. He was the head writer.
But that hasn't come up in months and months. And suddenly in the last week and a half, it's come up twice at least.
No,
Probably
he was the
more,
host. I think he was the host.
but- okay, but
He said
he's
writer today, but
Never
whatever.
that's never been on the resume. We've heard the resume many, many, many times.
Yeah.
And this football arm wrestling thing
Maybe
was
he got-
never part
Maybe he
of
got
it.
added to his IMDb recently or something because it's a credit. It's got CBS on it. It's a
He
credit.
forgot about it.
I must disagree. He's brought this up before. He just doesn't
Has
bring
he?
it up as often. Yeah, he
Right.
Yeah, no, I remember him bragging about how he went to meet that chick in Vegas and he wore his arm wrestling shirt to, so, you know, that way she brings, oh, arm wrestling. You know, I hosted that.
I wear a shirt that says "Ask me about my podcast" everywhere I go. It's very subtle.
He must have written for it because you look at those arms and there's no way he competed in it.
Yeah.
So it's
You don't think he was the champion?
two twigs getting snapped off of a human form.
He's like, try this. 3, 2, 1, go. Try that when you're up there. See how that works out. Gentlemen, Tuesday's show, John looked the worst I think we've ever seen him. What do you think was that lump under his left eye? P.S. Cardiff rules. There's a couple things. Okay. There's the thing under his eye.
Mhm.
Then there's this thing popping out the bottom of his neck. And now he's back home. The constant running of the nose has begun again. He's 100% allergic to cats, number one, or he's just surrounded by mold. I mean, those are the two options.
Yeah.
It's the mouth and nose. I was
Yeah.
watching from yesterday. Can't keep saliva in his head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just dripping out everywhere.
But the thing under his eye, I have to assume is from heavy drinking and dehydration.
Yeah, he drank all weekend. We all saw it. He was nonstop getting wasted all weekend. He's almost 60 years old. He's like, I'm not 60, I'm 58. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm
Carl,
rounding up,
Carl.
okay?
I don't like to defend John, but he was also on a plane, and you know what that does to you when you're on a plane, according to John. You get
makes
very
you stupid.
dehydrated.
It
So
makes you
stupid.
order 3 mimosas.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, what is the dumber medical excuse he gave this week? Was it I'm hurting because of the flight, or I only had COVID for roughly 9 to 12 hours.
Yeah, he thinks he had COVID, but then he got over it the next day immediately. And it's similar to when he went to his mom's over Christmas break and he was deadly sick that one day, and then he rebounded just like that. It's like, that's how illness works usually. That's odd.
That's how hangovers work.
Yeah, that's how hangovers or DTs or something like that. I just want to point this out. I forgot what the question was, so I apologize. I'm not addressing it. But he said he went to the doctor today. I was watching his show earlier, and he said, and guess what? This was his big brag. He goes, guess what? I'm 5'7.5", 188 pounds. Now, first off, I looked this up. If you're 5'7", you should be between 133 and 163.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
He's obese. we looked it up. He's obese.
But also, and we wanted to get people who hung out with John in AC on the show. I reached out to Ray DeVito. I forgot that if Ray DeVito came on the show, he wouldn't be able to do that MLC podcast, which is launching his career. So God forbid he would, because everyone knows that when you're in with Kevin Brennan, your stand-up comedy career is just going to take off. Everyone loves Kevin. Great name you could drop. But I would love to know people who were there, because I've seen all these videos. There's no way John's 5'7.5".
No. I'm
shorter than that.
Oh yeah, by a lot. Well, when he was walking around with Vince, they were the same height. What is Vince's height? He's not 5'7", right?
Really?
First of all,
5'5".
I'm taller
probably.
than Vince. I can
Right.
tell you that. That's confirmed. And if I'm taller than Vince and him and Vince are the same height, then he's 5'5" or 5'6" at the most. Hey, guess what, John? I'll give you the half. 5'6" and a half.
What you don't understand.
Tippy toes.
What you don't understand is he went to the same doctor as his son, so he got to wear heels.
Right. I think you're right.
I thought you were going to
take
tell
those
me.
pumps off. I thought this was America.
I thought you were going to tell me the doctor told him you're completely healthy, and I'm going to go, who's he going to? Levy's doctor? Don't quit smoking.
Shuli about to get eaten.
No, that's my girl live.
Well, it's like penis size or your body count. You always round it up. You make it a little more impressive.
Sure.
So 5'7.5" is a brag.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
That's him
definitely
flexing.
5'5".
Yeah.
Magellan gifted 5. Thank you, Magellan.
They tried to
Appreciate it.
re-roll us.
Be Dabbling live Saturday at 10 a.m. East. Hey, Cardiff, is there a new yo? Remember the 90s tonight? Always be dabbling. Hashtag Rochester Mission.
No, we're be dabbling live tomorrow. We'll talk about something in the 90s. JT, calm down.
Stuttering John's biggest fear is a shower and a live audience.
Yeah, he announced he's retired from comedy this week. That was a big announcement.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
A lot of comedy clubs closed their doors that night. No show, Well,
you guys talked about this on your show. John this week said 2 different things that don't make any sense. He writes jokes every day, and he's retired from doing comedy.
Yeah. I think this week was the week that he realized that he's retired from comedy. He's been retired from comedy for over a year.
2 other things he said just this week. He said that Ray DeVito is not good at stand-up, and he's never seen Ray DeVito stand-up.
never seen him.
It can't be both.
And 2 other things he said in regards to Ray. I like Ray, and Ray, you're a walking, talking joke.
Right.
So,
yes.
I don't know. Maybe somewhere in the middle there he lands. I'm not sure. Cardiff for President 2024, hashtag Hackamania. Thank you, Peter. Jad Allen tried explaining the Dabbleverse to a colleague. She's in the anthropology department, so I liken the Dabbleverse to those remote, isolated Amazonian tribes we know little about, except that they practice cannibalism. She kind of understood.
Yeah,
that's about right.
Thank you, Jad. Pest, I hear there's a bounty on Vince the lawyer's hat, $200. Erica Ann gifted 1. Thank you, Erica Ann.
Take it fucking easy, potato.
Any chance of getting Mr. Jeff Curro's evaluation of the drunken spiral that is Stuttering John? I'll reach out. This would be way better without the unfunny Jew. All right, Cardiff, you got to go, dude. Sorry, man. They're not digging you. The Looney Tunes critic, when Stuttering John pulled Vince the lawyer's hat off, it was like when Judge Doom in Roger Rabbit is revealed to be a tune.
Wow.
Too small to get run over by a steamroller, and the same haircut, too.
Second that. I
Yeah,
like
that's
the
pretty good
same
analogy.
point of reference. Yeah.
Puddin' Toot. naps and mandolins, nothing as embarrassing as telling security I'm a celebrity.
Well, that's the other thing too. John was making nap jokes about me again today. He's admitted to taking naps 2 days in the last week. He had to take a nap in AC, and then he had to take a nap just the other day since he's been back.
Yeah.
So.
Again, it's air travel. What do you want?
You're right.
I love
Your
John's.
offense
Yeah, go ahead, Andy.
Oh, I was just gonna say Carl's offense is that he didn't take a nap.
People
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah.
People have no idea what that conversation even was. You take a nap today? No, I didn't. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were actually
Crazy.
rebelling. You were rebelling against the nap. You should be put on our shoulders. And, you're a hero. I love John's performance in Elephant Man when he yelled, "I am not an animal." Oh, did you see also at some point this week his laptop? He pulled it down, and it was just a shot of his table, and it was just a lake of spit right by the foot of the
Hopefully that was mucus, yes.
Yeah. Hello, darling.
There's a puddle of mucus there, and his coffee table looks like something you would pick up from the side of the road. It looked like the oldest, shittiest coffee table anyone's ever seen. And it's not like he has to furnish a big place. Like he should have his best furniture out on display, you would think.
Well, speaking of furnishing his place, some interesting developments came up this week regarding his place. Turns out John has been getting complaints.
Oh, yeah.
He received a letter in his box from the landlord saying that there's been complaints, noise complaints of him yelling and screaming, and not good. And what John ended up doing was ratting himself out and listing all the other complaints he's received, while also saying, "I called her to yell at her." The guy's in trouble for yelling. His response to call the landlord and yell at the landlord. The landlord did not answer. So
I think what's happening here, and I actually got some information from an inside source that I have. And so when you're trying to evict a tenant or let the tenant know that they're on thin ice and they need to change their ways, you're going to find every angle you can. So it's like, well, you're yelling and screaming between, and for the most part, it's been between 4 and 7 at night. You're yelling and screaming, you're making all this noise.
Do you think the screaming stops after the show? Once he clicks end stream?
Well, Cardiff, you're right, because in the complaint, he even reads it. He says there's complaints of yelling and slamming doors. Now, he's never slamming any doors during the podcast, so it's continuing after the show.
That's his OCD, Shuli. He's not upset. He's living a great life.
I have to yell "dumb fuck" 12 times and slam the door.
He probably does.
Yeah. Probably.
Fucking hell, fucking hell, fucking hell, dumb fuck, dumb fuck, dumb fuck. He's like Balin Dupree with her fucking Tourette's.
Yeah.
That's his OCD. But the main complaint, though, is that it stinks. His place, and this is all happening since the landlord came over to get the stove out that wasn't working.
Yeah.
And you heard her say, like, well, you could have cleaned up around the stove for us. Yeah, I decided not to clean anything because you guys are just taking it out of here anyway. She's like, well, you could have. I mean, it would have been helpful. You hear them walking through empty cans and shit on the floor to pull this thing out. He doesn't change the litter box. That's self-admitted. He leaves the cats there for 4 or 5 days. Andy, you're a cat guy. Would you ever leave your cats for 4 days with just fucking food and water in the litter box?
It's just like, just leave extra food in the bowl, and I'll
They'll
clean
figure
the
it
litter
out.
box later.
Yeah, they'll
It's
figure it out. No, it's ridiculous. But
horrifying.
the main complaint, because he is in the basement.
Right.
He's making fun of Ray DeVito. He's living in a basement apartment. And so the smell just goes up. So the people who live above him are just smelling this all day long.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The kitty litter's outside, it's inside, it's everywhere. And so they're like, we got to get this guy out of here.
It's like sand to the beach. It's like,
Yeah, right.
It's everywhere.
He's tracking it all over.
You think there's going to be a letter in his box one day going, "Please start smoking cigarettes, please"?
Yeah. I wish there was a cigar smoker in this building.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah,
but-
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go
Go ahead, Shuli. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Andy.
I'm just gonna say, his landlord walks in and gets eyes on what's actually happening in there, and realizes it's a cancer on the building.
Yeah.
This is going to turn into a bigger issue if we don't get rid of this guy.
And we've been speculating about black mold because of the way that his mucus is running out of his face nonstop. And when shit like that happens in a building, that's a huge problem for the building owner.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And especially like cat piss too. There's a couple things that are irreversible when it comes to your foundation and structurally. You can't have cat piss and mold everywhere. It's a huge problem.
getting sick.
The hits keep coming with John. We talked a little bit about him now basically saying that none of the comments about his children bother him. But there was a tweet, I think, from Melton that said, John was talking to a fan of Melton's and basically told him, I can't stop arguing, yelling or fighting with people about my kids because that's basically how I make money. It's not that, it's not that these are my kids and I'll defend them till the day I die. I love them. How dare they? This is my gravy train, and I'm gonna fucking squeeze every drop out of it.
Yeah,
And
I have the tweet pulled up right here. It says, the reason he can't let anything go about his children and why he makes a giant deal out of everything is, quote, if I stopped, it would kill my show.
That's crazy because it's like an episode of Black Mirror now.
Yes.
Because I don't want people to make fun of my kids, but that's how I make a living now. So I have to suffer all these slings and arrows. It's just.
Well,
like
the kids wouldn't know anything about this. The kids aren't in the Dabbleverse. Most people aren't.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy about all of this. The only chance these kids have of seeing any of this is if they're watching their dad be a drunk buffoon on the internet and playing a clip of me saying that those kids sound like losers from a show behind my paywall from 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But there was also an interesting thing after the almost fight with him and Melton, is that, and I think it was Melton was saying this, that he immediately called Susanna after the altercation to talk to her about it, and that explains why the kids know what's being said
Hold
about
on,
it.
did he apologize? Put him on the phone. I want to talk to him.
Yeah,
Mr. Melton, are you not going to apologize for these comments?
Yeah, she's on to her new life. Like she's out. She won. She's gone.
Oh God!
And it's
Could
the
you
first
imagine
call
what
to
the
make.
eye roll is like when she sees his name show up on her phone?
Yeah.
Here we go again.
I know.
What is it this time?
I think there's always a part of her that's like, this will be a normal call. This will be the call I've been waiting for. Hey, I'm getting help. I'm changing my ways. Blah blah blah. Whatever it may be. And then she picks up. He's like, so I'm in the casino, and you know the guy who's trashing our kids, and that's when the major eye rolls. Like, fuck.
You think she has the Darth Vader song playing as a ringtone for John? Oh no.
The Friday Stuttering John special, all you can eat chicken cutlets with Ensure reduction sauce over at Come Piggy's Endless Buffet, guys.
That's the other thing. When he showed what he eats for lunch is just a chicken cutlet.
And there's one, it looked like he fought with a rat over it and pulled it out of its mouth. It's crazy.
It's a plastic bin of like something he found in a dumpster behind a Costco, and he doesn't even have it on a plate. It's just a bulk thing of chicken cutlets. I'm sure he's just opening the plastic, taking one out like it's a donut and eating it with no silverware.
The craziest part is though, everything with John is a brag. I think that he thinks he's eating healthy because it's chicken.
100%.
I think that's what he thinks. It's like there's not a vegetable to be found anywhere. It's just fried chicken, cold fried chicken. He's like, this is my lunch, everyone. Take that.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta bring this up. So he still isn't aware. The other day it happened again, and the balloons popped up on him, and he goes, I don't know what StreamYard's doing. He goes, StreamYard's doing weird shit. So
well, because Vince told him that. Vince goes, you're using that childish software StreamYard. That's why that's happening to you. It's just like, oh, okay.
So we just made it in StreamYard. So we kept saying the other night, God damn it, why does this keep happening? But the balloons is hilarious. Now people are incorporating the signals into chats, super chats.
Yep.
Yeah, the day, particularly the day where he's like, I don't care what you say about my kid. The super chats were on another level, man. They were brutal. Like they really tested that theory out.
Well, wishing Rocco to have a gay child really exposed John for who he is. And he was doing it again today, and he's trying to figure out what his angle is and how it doesn't make him look like a piece of shit. No, I'm just doing that because he's a bigot and he needs to learn. It's like, no. you obviously are not happy that 2 of your 3 kids are LGBTQ plus.
For now.
And that's what, for now, just 66% now, but we'll see. So, and that's why he's wishing this on other people. Like, yeah, we'll see how you like it when your daughter comes to you and says she's gay. It's like,
I
yeah,
hope
most
you
people are
get the
accepting.
gift. I hope you get the gift that I got, Tukey.
Right.
Tukey, I hope you.
Here.
Tukey, I hope your kids end up being gay.
There you go.
Unbelievable. He was praying. He was doing the old Stern bit today. You saw he was praying to
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Everything he does, he rips up. I love what he says. He likes to say that I think I'm Howard Stern. I never ask girls if they take it in the ass. I never do any of the things that John does. They're all Howard Stern ripoffs.
Well, the other thing is he doesn't. He calls it paying tribute. He says
Oh,
That's just
yeah,
me.
right.
That's just me paying tribute to Howard.
so. Chad will be stealing credit cards in heaven soon. says Ricky
Oh,
Bev.
that's sweet. we do have a death pool going at WATP, and listen, I'm not rooting for anyone's demise, but I've had Alex Jones all this time, and I'm starting to think that I should get on the Zubak. bandwagon on this one.
I love how Carl, he's like, we have Chad in a death pool. He goes, now, look, I don't approve. I will plug it, but I'm not happy.
Listen, I'm going to win $75, so I mean, it wouldn't be the worst day of my life, but still.
$75 is $75, brother. Dang lizard. Stuttering John is a star fucker like High Pitch Eric. Stuttering John also loves authority. They might share more similarities than just Vince the lawyer, but who do you think has the higher IQ? John of today versus Eric of today. John wins, but not by as much as
Not
you
by
think.
a lot. They might be in the same, is it a decimal? They
Now-
might be within 10 of each other.
John of today versus High Pitch Eric's first appearance on Stern. I think High Pitch beats him.
I agree.
And he's right. Dang is right. They do have similarities, 100%. CE, always the best of the faceless cowards.
I think I'm the last one. The last remaining.
Dumbest thing Stuttering John ever said, Kate Meany is smart. Well, that's still go. Apparently they're having phone conversations. Every time he brings her name up now, I love that he always has to throw in the edict, which is, I'm not trying to fuck her.
Guys, I'm not trying to fuck her. I just love a laugh. I
love
I love hearing her laugh. I like
Shut
making
up.
her
Did he
laugh.
really say that?
Yes. And
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
he said? He goes, I love a laugh just like I love Susanna's laugh. And he listed like 3 other girls he used to
Yeah.
date.
He named every woman that's disgusted with him currently as people he's loved their
But I'm not
laugh.
trying to fuck her. I don't
No.
want to. Why would I?
Just because I fucked everyone else on this list doesn't mean I want to fuck her.
I got to say, I've been on record saying that Kate Meany is a bore fest and should not be on any streams or podcasts ever. But I would love to talk to her and find out, are you really having hour-long conversations with Chad and John? Like, what are you doing with your life? No wonder your mom's pissed.
Yeah. It's like, it's like me getting off the air and talking to Underdog for 3 hours on my own.
Yeah,
know?
just like for fun.
Yeah. It's like, I'm from Massapequa. No one talks about John, only the Baldwins. Wow.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Your analogy is off. It's not like you talking to Underdog for 3 hours. It's like Gary the retard talking to Underdog for 3 hours.
You're right. Tried asking John if he's jealous that Turbo has a bigger harg. It's okay, though, because I said sorry after. Edited multiple times, but always just said, unable to send love the show. Don't let up on Drunky. Thank you, Pedro.
No problem.
Love the potato. Who doesn't? Get in line.
Oh, now we're seeing all of Cardiff's sock accounts coming in. Here they come.
It's costing me a fortune.
Can you block someone just from super chats? I don't think so. I think if they're blocked from super
I was going to
chats,
say that'd be a really dumb strategy.
Yeah.
You could be here and goof on me, but don't give me money.
yeah. I'm taking a Dabbleverse break for a bit. I'm sure Stuttering John will be a new man very soon. You guys are the best. Go Bills.
Oh, Michael P. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. I met Michael P. Well, he was at DabbleCon, but he was also at the Isotop show back in November. We played in Buffalo.
Now,
Good
you
guy.
said earlier that your brother has some exclusive footage that you'll be sharing. Is he prepared for the fallout from this, from John? Are they?
Oh, did I say my brother shot that? I meant beloved Chatter.
Oh yeah, that's what I
for
said.
Beloved Chatter is what I meant to say.
That's what I said. Fix that in post.
Yeah, all right, perfect. Yeah, it really shows what a coward Kevin Brennan is too. And also John's attempt to break up the fight. It's a pretty funny angle. I'm looking forward to really analyzing it and digging in.
Yeah, I love that the next day Kevin's like, all I did was walk over and go, hey, Bob, are you looking for me? Like the way he presented the argument was just night and day.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Frog and OJ and Chris for delivering the best produced shows in the Dabbleverse. AC was a convention for deadbeat dads. Orion's music shop. Thank you, Orion. John is 416. I like that. Maybe John has hydrocephalus from drinking, and his runny nose is brain fluid. Wow.
I don't know if that's possible. I'll ask
It would
Dr. Steve.
explain a lot.
I'll ask Dr. Steve about that. That's his brain escaping from his body.
Yeah. John, you have brain on your nose.
Why wouldn't he buy a box of Kleenex? Does anyone understand that at all? Why does he have to use the weirdest shit to wipe his face with?
And the same one, the entire show.
Yeah, right.
I hope the next stream he's just using his cat. He's just rubbing his cat.
2 comedy greats retired from comedy in the last 2 weeks. Jonathan Melendez and Brendan Schaub. Too soon, guys. Too soon.
That is true.
Well, I didn't shit the tub.
It's
Tim.
just like Shuli says, he's like, yeah, I'm retired from Sirius XM.
Yeah.
Sometimes the business retires you.
Why would the doctor need to check the height of a 58-year-old man? It hasn't changed in 40 years. That's a good point.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Just want to see if you're growing. What percentile you're in.
Yeah. Do they
lean
start
up against the door where we parked last time.
Come on. That's hilarious.
I don't know. We're not old enough. Do they eventually start checking to see if you're shrinking?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, why announce that? You know, it's gonna happen. We don't need to fucking. What are we throwing a party for it?
That's funny.
Stuttering John cares more about his IMDb than he ever has about his kids. You ain't kidding.
No, that's real. That's true. That's very true. I mean, it's and I hate to go there because it seems kind of mean, but it was proven by the court documents that came out.
Yeah.
And so when John Sisler goes, I love my kids, they love me, everyone knows that. No, in the court documents, there was an email that John sent that said, the kids aren't getting back to me. I'm reaching out to them, they're not getting back to me. There was the email from his wife saying, John never wanted more than 20% time with them. We agreed on 80-20, and even when he lost his job, he didn't say, hey, I want more time with my kids, until all of a sudden he wanted the child support payments to go down.
Yeah.
It's proven, and he stopped paying child support for 8 months. It's proven. Carl said 8 months. It was 7. Yeah. He's a lawyer. It's been proven that John doesn't give a fuck about his family.
I love them on my terms. Right. When and how much financially I love them.
Susanna wanted me to drive for Uber for like 30 hours a week. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, those documents coming out made the wedding speech much more understandable and a lot less funny.
Correct.
You know?
Yes.
I was like, oh boy. Shuli, you jealous of the credits? You mad because you didn't get the masturbating rocker role in Airheads or reporter number 2 in Meet Wally Sparks? Credits!
Oh. So John's big brag today, because someone says, John, you got to stop talking about your past. It's not like people, you got to live in the present. What are you doing now? What do you got coming up? And he goes, well, I have an audition coming up for a movie. Yeah. And he was all smug about it. An audition for a movie.
Just the day before, somebody brought something up acting wise, and he's like, yeah, you know what? Oh, it was Mason in Portland. He says, I have an agent for you named Randy Callahan. That's Perry Caravello's agent, 1992 story. And John goes, yeah, send me his info. I haven't got one audition yet.
Yep.
That was his
that's
quote.
right. He did. So then today he says he has an audition coming up.
Yeah.
So that's a lie. Okay. That's good to know.
Tomorrow,
he's going to call Randy Callahan. Maybe
right.
something will happen.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel wants to put me in a movie. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I can't wait to find out that I didn't get it.
Anthony Levy Jr. B Dabbler stinks now. Shuli is your pimp. Go read a Korean. Yeah, all right. Gino Wannabe. Big
Korean?
fan, though. Yeah. Koran. Sorry. I didn't see that. Go read a Koran. I mean, it makes as much sense as Korean. B Dabbler's not most. All right. Fudge me. Shook one. I'm drinking. Sue me. Okay, so it wasn't my fault. He's hammered. Love you, Levy Jr. Carl, I met your brother and sister-in-law in AC. Couldn't be nicer. Must be the non-frosted tips.
It must be. I have to say, of the winners from the AC trip, it seems that my brother and sister-in-law are at least in the top 3. Every single person has a compliment for those two. I didn't hear anyone say, well, then Carl's brother got out of hand and this happened. Like, everyone was just like, oh, they're great. They're fun to hang out with. So
John didn't have anything to say about his Mountain Dew shirts then, did he?
My brother did not have a Mountain Dew shirt with him. He went out and bought one because he knew that he would have to represent. He's like, oh, shit, I didn't bring my Mountain Dew shirt.
That's like him putting a red rose in his behind his ear so John would recognize him. He goes, I need a Mountain Dew shirt. Otherwise, John won't believe it. Erica Ann, thank you for gifting one. Appreciate it, Erica.
Hi, I'm an adult.
Hey, Cardiff, do you happen to have a drop that would tell us how many D's Carl likes in his B? Thank you in advance.
Let me check.
I can't get enough dicks in my butt.
Oh, those sentences always come back to haunt you, don't they? John makes Schultz look like Rommel. John Colluded, thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away, yeah. Give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away, yeah.
Thank you,
ever make
Hamhead.
your hard?
We all know Stuttering John is too dirty for COVID to touch him. Well, that was the other thing, too. After AC, they learned that Dawn, who made a big hit in the Dabbleverse, she was, hey, people love talking about Dawn. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Apparently, she was tested positive for COVID.
And before we get into that, I just want to say John has mentioned many times that he's rubbed one out over Dawn. He thinks she's really hot. And Keanu just killed herself. I just want to point that out. So that's too bad.
God. My God.
Dawn dead.
Brutal. But would you expect nothing less than John and his friends from Massapequa? I mean, that was, if you could put Massapequa in a hotel room, that was it. That was it. It was amazing.
I did want to beg Baloney Factory to change the blonde skank in the Aquatine videos to Dawn's hair color, because that's what she looks like.
Yes, you're right.
That blonde skank.
Oh, there's a lot of accusations, and at one point, John even kind of went along and agreed when somebody asked if certain people were doing certain things in the room, and John winked as if to say, "Oh yeah, it's happening." And then, of course, the next day he goes, I never said anybody was doing coke. I never said anybody was doing coke. What are you talking about?
Vince has got a funny joke about that, too, as he usually does. He goes, wow, the counters sure were clean in that room.
Oh,
the countertops
look at you.
sure were clean. Like, oh, I get it.
Somebody's picking up a pen over there at the law firm.
Watch out.
Watch out.
Watch out, Ray DeVito. You're not the only one writing jokes over here.
I really enjoyed when John was recounting Vince going through his pants and luggage and saying that he's sneaking around in their hotel room that they were sharing. And all I could imagine was the scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with the pillows.
Yes.
That's Vince and John
together waking up the next morning.
Yeah.
For me, it was like that whole story. There were a few things that didn't surprise me at all. Number one, Vince going through somebody's clothes. That didn't shock me at all. Number two, John arguing with Vince and saying, I know you went through my pants because here's how I take off my pants every time. I take them off and I leave them in the middle of the room. He said, I left it in the middle of the bathroom floor. So you had to step over to use the bathroom. You had to move my pants to use the bathroom.
John is staying in a room with multiple people and pulls his pants off in the middle of the bathroom and just leaves them there.
Yep. You're just asking for somebody to go through them. I need to pick these up.
I would have pissed on him.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly
in the pockets.
Exactly.
Like, motherfucker, just gonna leave this here? This is where I'm taking a leak now.
fucking throw it out the goddamn window off the balcony or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck out
Oh,
of
you know what
here.
would be really funny is if they cut him into like the short shorts.
Oh.
He has to go down for Super Bowl Sunday in his short shorts.
Daisy
Great,
Dukes.
Vince. Now I'm wearing Daisy Dukes. Thanks.
You happy?
You happy? Well, speaking of Vince and AC, here's another interesting question. So apparently Vince is the one that bought him his ticket over and back because John, for whatever reason, the first flight didn't work out. I guess it's Spirit's fault. They said all we can do is refund your money. So John said sure. And then John, according to John, Vince was begging him, saying you have to come, which I believe.
Yeah,
I believe because John not showing up, Vince can't do anything. Nobody cares about Vince without John, right? So that I believe. But I also believe that John is begging Vince to send him the plane ticket, to get him a plane ticket, because he knows about all the free beer that's going to be there. He knows that Broccoli is supposed to be reimbursing him for all of this. And he goes and he gets there and he gets money from Broccoli. And Broccoli gives Dan, Hitman Dan, some money. And at no point does John offer or give Vince any money for the flight that he got him, for the rooms he put him up in, and of course his thing is like Vince has points, it's free. Well, you got to spend money to get those points. Like nothing's free in the casino.
This is another parallel with High Pitch Eric. Because the whole reason why High Pitch Eric hangs out with Vince is because Vince is going to pay for the Yankees ticket and Vince is going to pay for the food and the drinks. I mean, you saw those two at your comedy show that you guys did, and Vince is paying for High Pitch to do all the stuff that he wants to do, even though High Pitch has like $500,000 in the bank from Cameo. But High Pitch has way more money than John, which is hilarious. But of the Whack Packers, John might be
And
the
a car.
Yeah,
Two.
and a nice car.
Two. I think he had to sell one, but yeah, he had two cars.
But you're right, though, because Vince made it clear that he was fronting John the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did front John the money, and John goes, well, I'm not going to give you that money back. He literally said that to Vince on his show. I'm not going to give you the money back. But he is going to give Vince the $120 because they made $240 during their live stream from the suite. So John's going to be very generous and split that with Vince. Vince is like, okay, yeah, great.
Your lucky day, Vince.
Yeah. Cost me $3,000. Thanks for that.
Yeah, good stuff.
$120.
Plus, I'm sure Vince had to pay for the upgraded internet to stream.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's go. Hey, 1,500 in here watching along live with us. Thank you. Hit the like, hit subscribe, turn on accept gifted memberships. The link is in the description. Thank you. Great. We're stuck with Cardiff. I'm guessing Kumia didn't return your messages. Suck my dick, boys. Thank you, Hellraiser. Appreciate it. Penis Wrinkle, the legend. Last thing Stuttering John said today was he went to the doc because he was getting winded doing laundry. The doc thinks something in his heart is clogged. The end is near. Wow.
Did he really say that? Because John always says he's in perfect shape and everything's going great because he had to take blood test and a urine sample today. Oh, that was the other thing he said on his show. He goes, yeah, so I'm a little bit late. I had to do blood test and a urine sample. You know, I didn't even have to pee. Since when does John not have to pee?
Yeah.
How is that possible? He's just constantly chugging either beer or water or Ensure at all times.
He brings a cup back with foam on top. They're like, sir.
Please get a blood test. You're gray. We don't think there's any left in there.
Yeah, right. So the other thing that John claimed on his show today is that he goes to the gym every day. I know. Sometimes he's funny. You're right. You're right.
Is the bartender at Pickwick named Jim?
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that makes any sense.
This is what John doesn't realize is what an open book he is, how much we know about him, even though his show is mostly performative now and he's just putting on an act. But there's a lot of truth that sneaks out. John never does anything without a story attached to it. He has no stories about the gym. Isn't that amazing? There isn't a character there. There isn't like a machine that he tried to use and he couldn't get out.
There would 100% be Jerry Banfield versions of what the yoga pants situation was at the gym.
Oh my God, he'd be talking about the chicks that were there. He'd have so many stories. It reminds me of this flight to Atlantic City. Had so many issues, so many problems. He's tweeting at Spirit Airlines. He's tweeting at everyone. He's all pissed off. When he went to Jamaica, not a story to be told. Everything was just smooth and perfect, no problem at all.
It was Irie, man.
It's so obvious when he's lying. You didn't go to Jamaica, you never go to the gym. Shut the fuck up.
$50 by Monday. He's telling jib stories.
Oh, yeah,
that's
because
right.
I just said
Because of
that.
this right
Now
now.
he's
Yeah.
Now he's going to make up. And by the way, Cardiff, he will stutter. When he tells his gym stories, that's when he stutters. And then, I forget his name. Rick. My buddy Rick at the gym, he told me that she's taken.
Yeah.
I like the idea of him going, just wipe down the machine. I mean, am I asking for too much?
Yeah.
But Shuli, you have to agree. He always has a story about every mundane thing that happens in his life. There's no fucking way he's going to the gym and not telling us about it.
Of course
Unfortunately-
not. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the machine at the gym that needs to be wiped down is the camera they're taking his picture with for his ID card.
Thank you all for not killing yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Coof.
you. Hey, every day, man. You gotta work on that. Today on his show, John clarified he's wishing Tuki's kids become homosexual. It's totally not because he's a dumb homophobic piece of shit. He wants it to teach him a lesson. Backpedal much?
Again, he's not.
What's the
understanding-
lessons?
Right,
Stuttering
he's
John's the ghost.
understanding. Rocco came out as Gino Piscante, obviously, a very brilliant impression that he does, and explained this to him. It's like, no. We don't make fun of your kids for being gay because we hate gay people. We do it because it drives you crazy, John.
Because you hate gay people.
Yes, we do it because it drives you crazy.
You're ashamed of gayness.
Yes, correct. That's why he calls everyone lady names. That's why he says I'm effeminate for my wood paneling or the way I drink beer. He hates gay people. John hates gay people. It's obvious.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's going to argue otherwise. It's there. It's there. You can see it. You can hear it in the way he talks. When he gets mad, he wants to say that F word so bad.
What was the funny thing? Who was he talking about? I wanted to say Kevin Brennan, but I don't remember which enemy it was at that time.
Melton, I think.
Maybe it was Melton, but
Yeah.
but he was going through his rant. He's just like, you
Oh, no, it was
pink
Kevin.
face, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah.
Dickhead.
Yeah.
So I couldn't say what I wanted to say. I'm like, oh, no, I know what you wanted to say.
Yeah, because it was about
it was
Brennan's helmet.
It
and
was,
shoes.
yellow helmet, pink shoe, dickhead.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Finally made it to Point DabblePoint. Well done, boys and potato. Weasel tail. Love.
Weasel Tails, I'm sorry you've made it this far in your
Yeah.
quest to the Dabbleverse, sir.
Flex, thank you for gifting one. Appreciate it.
Yep,
Shroom
sounds
gift.
like you turned on me.
Joey C. Surely, fake broccoli worked like a charm. That potato makes my heart run 10,000 motherfucking feet. Don't read this live. God damn it. All right.
Fucking my heart races like 10 motherfucking thousand feet.
John is also paying tribute to an unlikable hobo. Oh, so that explains a lot.
Yeah.
That explains a lot. Got it. Any idea why he appears to be spending most of his time in shithole apartment in California when he has his mother's house in Florida? Eugene, that's a great question. I've thought of that question many times myself. Obviously, he's not in physical contact with his kids like he was. He's not working.
No, sure, he's got auditions. Come on, man.
Oh,
He's a Hollywood celebrity. He's got auditions.
It's
to go
audition
on.
season, bro.
And also the biker gang is living in his Florida home.
You're watching it.
I forgot about the biker gang. But it is odd that he's still there in this dungeon that he lives in, and he's got this house in sunny Florida that he could be at enjoying life. I don't know. Do you think? See, I was thinking, do you think not having a vehicle is part of this reason why he's staying? Because I don't know that area. Maybe you're familiar with that area in Florida, Carl. I
I
know.
am.
Oh,
Quite a bit, actually. Yes.
I mean,
Well
is
outside
it
there.
is it walkable to
No.
anything? No, right?
No, he's in the northwest quadrant of Cape Coral. It's pretty rural. He's not near. I don't even think that Stevie Tomatoes is a walkable distance for him. I think he has to grab an Uber or take his Harley there.
Yeah, it's residential.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a
And
way
he's
to
been
get
there.
around for sure.
By the way, speaking of Stevie Tomatoes, I made a trip over there.
Yeah?
We made a trek over there last time I was down at Cape Coral, and I asked the bartender, I go, I have a celebrity friend who hangs out here. You know, Stuttering John. He goes, oh yeah, I know John. He hasn't been in here in a while. But The staff definitely knows Stuttering John Melendez. I'm not surprised. He makes himself be known.
Yeah.
Anybody have any interesting stories about John while you were there?
You know what? I didn't want to push the subject because I had some other things I was doing, which I'm hoping John goes back to Cape Coral soon. just put it that way.
I was setting traps. More
I
on
was
traps.
putting rakes down in front of doors. Where's this spot? Right here? All right, yeah, I'm just going to set this down.
There's a giant cardboard box with a stick holding it up with a Coors Light under it.
Yeah, no one's going to take it. It says it's for John Melendez, so no one's going to touch it.
Billy, Stuttering John fancies himself a man's man, and having a gay or trans kid is probably the worst thing that can happen to him.
Yep.
FSJ, FKB, long live TSN and WATP. Keep up the great work, fellas. Thank you.
Thank you, Billy.
Thank
You're
you, Billy.
spot on with that. It's so obvious in the way that John talks and his mannerisms. And go back to what he thought was comedy back on the Howard Stern show. It's funny, too, because you go back and you listen to those. I mean, he wrote about it in his book. He's proud of it still. But you go back and you hear all the homophobic and racist things that he would come up with. And listen, I know these are bits, but even back then, even in the early 90s, Howard's going, whoa, what are we doing here? You're calling Robin a what?
Yeah.
That's not, you think that's funny, John? That's not funny.
I mean, it's funny in Massapequa.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's funny to John.
Right.
The first
See,
clue
John
that-
doesn't even know I was in Atlantic City in
There
disguise.
he is in disguise.
Look at that. He didn't even know. You took a
Nice.
picture with me, you fucking idiot.
Nice wig.
Somebody on Twitter had that. I thought it was great. Joining late, boys. Did you already go over Stuttering John gushing over KB vid yet? Funniest effing thing I've ever seen. KB and Stuttering John sitting in a bar. PUKING. Boom. Yeah, he just refuses to be mad at. He can't stay mad at KB.
He's smitten.
He's smitten. Thank
What
you.
really
is it
is.
like a video of him leaning in and whispering sweet nothings into his ear? Is that what it is?
Yeah, like he goes up and quickly embraces him, and he's giggling, and he's just like in love.
Oh God.
Oh, and then before the Levy thing, he tells it where he walked over to KB and he goes, "You need some muscle with you?"
Yeah.
And KB's like, "Yeah, please."
Please go
you
find
imagine
a
if-
security guard.
Yeah, can you imagine if that ball of clay walks up to you and goes, "You need muscle?" You're like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Ball of clay.
Cardiff, F. Mary Kill, Hitman Dan's wife, Kate Meany,
Oh,
Andrea
fuck.
Brower.
Ooh, you got to do it, Cardiff. That's a good one.
Oh, fuck.
And you can't Bud Dwyer it. You can't turn it on
This
yourself.
one actually isn't as hard as you think it is, but go ahead.
Oh,
I think
I
this is
want to
pretty
hear.
hard.
I want to hear Carl's breakdown.
Yeah, I think I got this, but go ahead.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to marry Hitman Dan's wife because she's got coke. I guess, sorry, Andrea.
Yeah, I mean that is the obvious choice right there. Kate Meany is not what I would call wife material, so yes,
No.
that is the F in this one.
What's your pick?
No,
Carl?
Cardiff got it exactly right. See,
Oh, he got it right.
He thought about it for a second and realized how that's going down.
I'm not happy with any of my
Well,
decisions, though.
I understand.
I'm making these picks under protest. While he was at the bar at LAX, he told a caller to Vince the Lawyer show he had $5,000 to bet in AC. I remember that. You're right.
Well, did he say
was-
$5,000 or 5 large? Because he thinks 5 large means $500.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have that either. He
Yeah,
could
no,
be
I know.
500 or $50. I don't think he flew with.
Yeah, I know.
Stuttering John's brown eye of the rat super sticker. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You know, going back to why isn't John spending more time in Florida?
Yeah.
I can't for the life of me figure out why he bought a house in Florida. There's nothing he can do there.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he thought he was going to go there and be a substitute teacher, because at the time that he bought that house, he was substitute teaching. So unless he thought that he was going to move to Florida, be a substitute teacher, and just leave Hollywood, get away from all this nonsense, because there was a time he was ready to be done with all of this.
Right.
And so, because otherwise, why the fuck does he have a house in Cape Coral? It makes zero sense.
I still maintain it's hiding his money from his wife.
Well, yes, I agree with that. But why Cape Coral? Why Florida?
Well, Florida, if he gets a judgment against him in California, they cannot foreclose on the property in Florida.
That's
If
right.
you own a
and
property in California, they could.
No state income tax. Okay, yes, you're right. There's a couple advantages to Florida now that I'm thinking about it. Good point.
But what doesn't make sense is him renting a place in Canoga Park. That makes less sense.
Well,
and the house is in his mom's
house.
name.
That's true. Yes,
Right.
you're right. So it's not even his house.
Yeah, it's all hiding money from his wife. And is there, I mean, I'm talking out of school, but there's no way that he's properly paying taxes, right? He's too stupid to. I mean, is he putting that on somebody else?
Remember, he said so. Brennan paid him almost $4,000 last year.
Yeah,
and he said, "Oh, I'm not going to give Kevin W-2." It's like, no, you have to. That's the law.
Yeah.
The IRS will come down on you if you don't. But this is how dumb John is. He thinks he's punishing Kevin Brennan.
Yes.
Well,
I'm only bringing this up because I hope that somebody from the IRS is listening.
Yeah.
And will start putting a microscope on Stuttering John's finances.
Well, yeah, because it came out in the court documents that he was doing these comedy gigs.
Right.
And he was claiming he was making $0. It's like, well, then what are these comedy gigs? What about the residuals you get from Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
There's a
Super
simple way to
chat.
know. Sorry, Andy.
No, go on, Carl.
No, there's a simple way to know if he's paying his taxes, because on April 30th, if he comes on doing the show telling his harrowing day at the post office trying to file his taxes. Because otherwise we know it didn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, there's not a story about it. It didn't happen. I agree with that.
I need audited stories.
Brian, if Dawn's in the hospital, who's been scaring the crows away from my crops?
That's hilarious.
DabbleCon, OJ left luggage in the middle of the bathroom. Well, I mean, yes and no.
No, that wasn't in the bathroom,
I
right?
know.
Didn't, yeah.
No.
I mean, it turned into a bathroom.
Exactly.
And did he have the balls to sit there with Hitman Dawn and shit on Jenny Jingles?
Yes.
Like, did they really sit there?
Yeah.
Dude, that was the craziest thing ever. I'm watching this. Even Vince the Loser's just like, well, guys, I don't know that we should be doing this right now. This is not a good look.
You bring up another thing this week. Somebody super chatted him because he was saying, like, my kids aren't a part of my show. They're not in my show. You know, how can you trash them? How can you go after them? And somebody said, well, what about Carl's dad? What about Shuli's wife? What about whatever? And he's like, that's different. It's always different. He goes, Shuli's wife. He goes, Shuli's wife has a show. I'm like, really? Where is that?
What are we talking about?
How much is that bringing in?
Well,
you know,
if Carl's dad didn't want his photo in my show, then his uncle should have taken a photo of him, posted on his Facebook page that Vince the lawyer found.
it's amazing.
What's not to understand about this?
My favorite part of all the Superman comics is how Superman runs around yelling that kryptonite is his greatest weakness. He's got a T-shirt that says "Kryptonite Police," and he won't shut up about how nobody should talk about kryptonite.
Yeah, right. I know what it is.
Fucking
It's
moron.
like a bad strategy, Superman.
Yeah. Well, regarding your wife, she's on your show, so she's fair game.
Sure.
You know, and then of course,
I do agree with that too. I'm not claiming to be a victim, making fun of my wife. She does go on the show and goofs on John. It's fine.
Yeah, and apparently my dead mom has a show as well, so that's okay.
That's the dumbest thing of all of this.
Yeah.
When he makes fun of your mom, your dead
Yeah.
mom, and his excuse is, at the time I didn't know. You do now. You still do it every fucking show 5 times a show. So what's the excuse now? Well, I started doing it. So now what am I going to do? It's a
Well, he was clarifying a couple weeks ago. He goes, look, it's one thing because he's mad about Mike and his mom being together.
Sure.
And he says, you know, that's not cool. And somebody says, well, what about you making fun of Shuli's dead mom? And he goes, well, she's not alive, so it's different. Yeah. He goes, she can't hear me saying it. She's dead. My mom could hear. You know?
Shuli's dead mom's show is great, but she doesn't read any of my super chats. I'm trying to figure out why.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
It's a waste of fucking money.
Not,
so
you know.
apparently Mike Moore should start fucking John's dead father, and that would be okay.
Yeah.
According to John.
You know what? Let me write that down. I think
Something
we're on
tells me he will be soon.
The Howard Stern versus Mancow all over again.
Yeah, get ready for a fully usable picture from NBC of Ralph making his way to the...
Oh no!
I feel a remake of Ralphie Cakes coming out.
Yeah. Oh, now we're talking. How could you not crank your harg to this? That's insane.
Guys, I just looked at it for a second. Am I going to be all right?
That looks like King Cobra. King Cobra's girlfriend.
New girlfriend, yeah.
Poor King Cobra. You know?
Oh, it's the old lady from Thinner.
Oh, that's a good pull too. Mean Lee Harvey Oswald, thank you for gifting 5. Appreciate it.
Behind me.
Black and white of John and Kevin kissing at the Borgata.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, somebody got
Super
it.
Bowl Sunday.
Black and white really capture the moment. I survived cirrhosis and now work in addiction treatment. John has what is this? Encephalopathy?
Frog?
Jaundice. Well, I don't
Me.
know.
Jaundice.
And if he can't pee, he's developing whatever that is, liver failure. Oof.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Man.
Very,
he's-
very possible. I was told
Moving on.
people who saw John in Atlantic City for the first time, and I've got a lot of firsthand accounts of John and Chad and what was going on. Like, John is literally gray.
Yeah.
There's something very unhealthy that's going on.
I love
with
when
his
people
organs.
bring up the smell too.
Oh, God.
He's-
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I can picture him next public thing. He's walking around with a necklace with a ring light attached to it, like an inch, 2 inches from his face, so it takes the grayness
Like
out.
a selfie stick. He's just holding
Yeah,
it out in
yeah.
front of him for the lighting.
I asked Kate Beatty for this back.
He didn't even get a new one.
That's great.
Go ahead.
So
You were gonna say something?
I just a couple other things from my notes that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
One of the things that he said on his show today, because John's an idiot. He goes, if a tree falls in the forest, will anybody hear it? No. That's not the saying. That has nothing to do with what the saying is.
It really doesn't make you think.
He's so stupid. And
Hey.
he was going on and on about science facts about the solar system today. He went back into it again with what color the sky is and the biggest planet and the hottest planet. He's like, did you know that? No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you can lead a horse to water, but glass houses. Am I right?
If a tree falls in the forest, will anybody hear it? No.
Okay, we need to stop talking about the gym and start making a bingo card of the stuff he's going to talk about on Monday that he did
Yes.
at the gym. That's great, Cupcake.
He's going to start
That's
Googling
great.
machines and figuring out what he was doing and use the word reps a few times.
Shuli, Carl doesn't need to give me permission to be a human and meet people. I can come on and check. Hey, this John's infected you, Christina. Look at you. Now you're attacking me?
I know what's going on right now.
What is wrong with
I
you?
thought we're all friends.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you have Grant call me after the show? I want to talk.
Yeah. We'll have a conversation with Grant about you.
Shut up. Go turn a dishwasher into a snowblower.
If John's taking a piss test, he's diabetic. Before I got diagnosed, I chug sodas like John does beer. Captain Chaos. Yeah.
Yeah. Why would you have to take a piss test? That's like what vets ask for, right? Like that's not a thing. Like I've had to take one piss test. It was a drug test to get a job.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
do it at the doctor, right? Or am I wrong? I don't know.
I don't
No, I
because
think
I
you
don't
do.
have a drinking problem.
Okay. Well, we actually have a conversation later on, but I hear you.
Well, I just remembered something. There was a moment where John was going to Chad's and Gino's comedy show,
Mhm.
and I guess they were riding with some fans of NLO, and they recorded the conversation on the drive over to the gig. And what's amazing about it is that
was
John,
Incredible.
this is how you know he calls his kids after every show, Susanna, and fills them in on all this shit. It's the only thing he has left to talk about. So he gets in this Uber. Obviously, he doesn't know the driver. They've never met. They don't know. He doesn't know it's John. And John begins on this journey to tell him the entire backstory of him versus the trolls.
Yep.
Now, there was a moment in there where he talked about being fired from his job at the school.
He was a school teacher and they got him fired. Yeah.
And he mentioned again that it was tweets that got him fired, I believe, right? That
Yes.
it was tweets about a biker gang, which that tweet was directed to you, Carl,
Correct. Yes.
right? This
Yeah.
was he was going to have his biker gang buddies come to Florida and come find you, and apparently that's the tweet that got him in, according to him, on this car ride.
It's worse than that. He was going to have the biker gang vandalize my house. So I think he was mad at Vince the lawyer for showing a screen grab of our text conversation.
Right.
He's taking it out on me for whatever reason. And he said, a biker gang is going to come vandalize my house. This is the same Stuttering John Melendez who, when Chad tweeted that he was going to go to Cape Coral to fuck with John's house, he had to call the Tampa police, the Cape Coral police, and the FBI.
Yeah.
I'm
Hello,
not making any of
CIA.
this up.
Yeah.
Fucking believable.
And John's house is still on their beat.
Yeah.
Every
by
20
regulars.
minutes, Homeland Security is there watching.
Yeah, it's like a congressman's living there. They just have security, have Secret Service at all times.
Unbelievable.
The
Looney
biker
Tunes.
gang is yelling at him. He's like, "Did you send the cops here?"
But
right.
They're watching
Let me
us
get
now.
some tweets.
And again, this guy had no problem going on the air on his show and saying Bob Levy got me fired. This one got me fired. That one got me fired. Meanwhile, you got you fired. Trying to be a tough guy on the internet.
And Muttering
It was
Jay,
Muttering
but
Jay,
yes.
yeah.
Right.
Well, but the Muttering Jay doesn't have the tweet to send
and
without him put.
Can
You
I
know what
just
I'm
put
saying?
something to bed for once and for all on this show
Yeah.
right now? Because
Yeah.
John once again was talking about all the things I'm wrong about. And he says, and Carl said that Vince the lawyer is Muttering Jay. He is. All right. The only thing that I said, the only caveat I said is that there's more than one person who has access to that account. Because even Vince the lawyer doesn't have time to tweet at me 238 times in one fucking day, like Muttering Jay did a couple weeks ago. So maybe his loser kid is doing it. Yes, Vince, your kid's a loser. Maybe that's who's doing it, but it's definitely Vince the fucking lawyer who's Muttering Jay. I'm tripling down on that shit. I know for a fact. I have the evidence. I won't show you because you want it too bad.
Take your hat off. We'll show it to you. Let's make a deal.
Yeah.
John hates gays the way all of our grandparents hate the blacks. They can do whatever they want as long as it's in their own part of town. They do look good in purple capes, though. It ain't easy being Stuttering John's cat, made forever ago. Dang lizard. Look at that. I love that.
No, that's funny.
James, he is on probation for back child support. He can't leave California. That is a theory I've heard.
Interesting.
Court ordered to stay in a mold-filled basement. Maybe Stuttering John's mom got smart and told him to keep his nasty ass out of her house. I don't think she's ever said no to that guy.
Right.
I think this is why we have who we have in front of us.
Oh, John claimed today, I don't think I brought this up. I meant to, that wasn't his mom on that Facebook chat. Obviously, he's taking a lot of heat for that Facebook chat. And it's possible. I mean, anyone could do anything they want on the internet. But Facebook is the hardest to fake your identity on.
That's hard.
Yeah, Facebook, you have to be the person. Because Facebook doesn't let just anyone create sock accounts. Not like YouTube. Twitter, YouTube, they don't give a shit. But
yeah, you have to have like a whole new email, a whole new set.
Well, also factor this in. He's in Atlantic City when that chat comes through. So he's partying all hours of the night, 4 a.m. His mom's calling him. He's either asleep or he doesn't want to talk to her because he's in party mode.
Right.
So it's probably the only way she can communicate with him.
Good point.
Thank you.
Makes a lot of sense.
Christmas, Stuttering John was trying to prove Florida House was his. Asa was off screen, agreed it is his, as she would never move to Florida. A way to hide money, yet it's fraud.
Yeah. That's the other thing, too. I think Frog brought this up on your guys' show this morning. It's like, well, if you're making payments, John claims he's paying this mortgage payment. He's throwing out numbers for some reason. I don't know what's in his head that he thinks he has to explain how much money he's paying for his mortgage or why any of this matters. But it's like, yeah, but the name is in your mom's house. So what's going on here? There's something. If she's not living there and she's buying the house and you claim that it's yours and you bought it with your money, then why is your mom's name on it? What's going on there?
Well, one of my favorite claims this week is he lives for free. He doesn't pay anything because he has a pension.
He told me that on the phone. When we had that 1 week window where we were buddies, we had a phone conversation and he goes, yeah, I got this pension that pays for my rent in Canoga Park. So, it's like, yeah, but that money could be spent any other way you want it to be.
He has the financial literacy of Gary the retard.
Yes, correct.
But again, why, like the fact that in his mind, he thinks he needs to tell you that.
Right.
So because that's like to him, that would impress him. if somebody said that to him.
Well, he asked me how much money I put down on my house. He asked me how much money I
Yeah.
was making on the podcast. He was giving me all this information about what he's doing. These are not conversations that friends have, let alone people who've never talked to each other and have only talked shit about each other for the last 4 years straight.
Yeah.
Why are we having this conversation? I shut it down immediately. I'm like, John, I don't know. Anyway, so are we going to do the show together? Do you want to schedule it?
Yeah. Let me tell you the inner workings of WATP Industries. Yeah, no problem.
He goes, so Carl, you're making this much here. You're probably making this much there. I'm like, yeah, it's great. So, John, what the fuck?
Well, there's a great old, and Cardiff, you probably know this one, but there's a great old Stern episode where Vinny Favale and him get in an argument because Vinny's like, he's such a cunt at parties. All he's doing is talking about what everybody makes and trying to guess what I make and all this shit. And that is him till this day.
So that's another thing that he was saying on his show today. And he's been saying it for weeks, so this is nothing new. But he says he's so happy that the shitwayers numbers are way down. By what fucking metric? The Dabbleverse is going up and up and up. All these videos are getting more and more viewers, more and more views, more and more engagement. Somebody told him that things were failing. He thought that I was off the internet. I'll let you respond to that in a second. He thought that, he was telling Vince the lawyer. I don't know who told him this. It's so stupid. He goes, yeah, I don't know where Carl went. He's out of the Dabbleverse. Ever since that nap video, Carl's Discord got taken down.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So Vince the lawyer goes, what's a Discord? I don't know what that is. Vince likes to do that.
The
to John.
Reddit's on the Discord.
And he goes, it's the Reddit. The Reddit. It's like, no, it's completely different fucking things. I haven't taken out my Reddit or my Discord or anything, John. Things are going very well at WATP Industries. We're doing very fucking well. But John likes to make up these things where it's just like, yep, everyone's failing except for me. How do you figure? Point to one thing that shows that. Fucking Cardiff Electric and Tukey are making a living on this shit. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I've never met somebody who wants to manifest just doom and gloom for anyone around him, but that's his dream. Look, there are less people freaking out about us going out of business. I employ more people than there are freaking out about how much money we're making. Everything's doing fine. Everyone's doing fine.
Everyone's doing well.
Yeah,
I'm surprised the balloons didn't go off from so much Italian hands that were happening.
I was going nuts for a second there. I guess my
where's my
StreamYard-
balloons?
My StreamYard isn't working apparently.
There it is. There you go.
If things are going so well, can I start getting paid a little more?
Shut up.
Mute. Get out of here. Mute.
He's got the fucking balloon. It's nice. But it's just another parallel with Kevin Brennan. They both do the same thing.
Yeah.
They're like, they're the only ones crushing it. They're making all the money and no one else is making any fucking money. Like, in what world do you think that's true? Kevin has a single revenue stream. That can't be a good thing.
Right. It's the laziest try of a show.
He
And
has
you're
to be on the internet 7 days a week. No offense, Shuli. Or else he can't fucking make any goddamn money.
Yeah.
And if Brock Lee goes away, Addicted to Profits left. There are certain people who are bankrolling him, and he needs someone else to step into that place. When Kevin, I'm not making this about Kevin Brennan, but I am. When Kevin was going off about how I was making fun of him for having a handful of big donors that actually fund his entire operation, it's called the 80-20 rule. Now, I've actually been in business, so I know how this works. And this is true of just about every single business. There's an 80-20 rule. So 20% of your clients provide 80% of your income. It's just how that works. And the 80-20 rule works in a lot of different ways. But this is very true. So when Kevin's going, Carl acts like there's only 5 people who are donating money. 5 people donate 80% of your fucking income.
Yeah.
And one of them or 2 of them go away. Same with Ethan Ralph. Couple of these people go away and the money dries up. It's not a good business model is my point.
100%. And it's because when I started paying attention to MLC, that was the Zumach Bob days.
Sure.
When
Black Eye, Gates,
Bob
Country.
and Kevin had their punching bag, and everybody was delighted by how much shit Zumach had to take.
Sure, it's fun.
And they were getting $200 super chats.
Oh, yeah.
$100 super chats. 50,
all the time.
It was just rolling and rolling.
A lot of red and orange
so
on
for
that
Kevin
screen.
to fuck that up and let those 2 guys go, it's the worst decision that he ever made with his show.
Well, it worked out well for him. He didn't have to pay Bob the money he owed him. How convenient is that?
Well, yeah.
That's a fun business model, too. As long as you get mad at someone, you don't have to pay them anymore.
Well,
Oh, did
No,
you do
that's-
the work for me? Yeah, I did, but now
Yeah.
I'm mad at you, so I don't have to pay you.
yeah, but there's nothing to pay now because nothing's coming in. It's all $2, $5,
Well, no shit.
$10, $20 bullshit.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
he
but-
showed off. I'm sorry, Shuli. I'm turning
go
this
ahead,
into a
go
fucking anti-Karen show. He showed off a $100 bill that he got from Broccoli or whoever in Atlantic City. Dude, you're an adult man in your 60s, and you're bragging about someone giving you $100.
Yeah.
This is. It's one step up from being homeless. Like a homeless guy would be like, wow, I got a 20 today.
Yeah.
Kevin Brennan's like, I got a $100 bill just for fucking hanging out. Like,
I don't. So at least Soldier Boy is running around with the same $100,000 that he shows to everybody on every live stream.
Right.
You just have $100 from Brock Lee. Congratulations.
You bring up Brock Lee, and it's a funny thing that John's been saying this week since his return is he's like, Carl and Shuli are the biggest pussies because they didn't come. I showed up. I came. And it's like, if this wasn't fully funded, you would have never got your ass off the couch. So don't act like you're this big hero that spent your own money to come out there and prove a point. You're on the phone at 7 a.m. with
I'm
Vince crying.
frugal, Shuli.
I'm frugal. On that note, my favorite super chat of this week was I think it was single mother of five who said, did you meet any other millionaires on Spirit when you flew? And
Yeah.
I was like, that's brilliant.
Hilarious.
Brilliant. But yeah, it's so funny to me, this whole, like, we all have a core group of people that donate and support and help. And it's awesome because the reality of it is what we're talking about is so fucking stupid. Nobody should be here,
Right.
including us. Me, Lee Harvey Oswald. My partner and I have known for a year Stuttering John was a homophobe. His digs were a tip-off, but we know lots of parents who ignore their kids once they've come out, and it's very tough on the children who know more than they'll tell. Yeah, I'm sure of it. That's got to be. I mean, think about that. Your mom and your dad, your safe zone, your go-to. You have the biggest fucking thing in your life going on, and they just he turns his back on, or just they can feel that energy of disgust, of non-approval, right?
Well, I think it was Mike Morris who brought this point up, and it was a perfect point to make when John was talking about why he lives in a 500 square foot apartment in Canoga Park. And he's like, well, this is all I need. Why would I need more rooms? Like, well, maybe Oscar could spend the night with you. Like, you should have visitation rights, or they should want to hang out with their dad and spend a weekend, watch a movie and crash at my dad's house.
How about privacy so you don't have a landlady telling you you're disgusting?
Wow, that's a whole other thing. No shit.
Hey, Dad, I got to come into Canoga Park to buy some crack. Can I stay over?
Well, I love that one of the complaints was there's cat litter by the dumpster. Like he couldn't even get the cat litter in the dumpster. It was on the ground.
Dropped on the ground, whatever.
Next to a pair of pants in the middle of the parking lot.
I imagine his apartment is dumpster facing and he's just throwing it out the window and missing.
He's like Thor. He's spinning it and then just tosses it. Janet, the evil lawyer, better F, Mary, kill. Stuttering John, Vince, KB. Ooh,
should ask my sister-in-law. We don't F or marry men in this world, but okay.
Am I allowed to ask her, or is she going to bite my head off?
She's probably very upset with you right now. I don't know.
Oh my God. I mean.
Well, I'm marrying Vince because he's got a lot of money and he likes to throw it around.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I could be arm candy for Vince. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'd kill KB. I'd marry Vince, and I'd fuck the hell out of Stuttering John. Oh my God, I would. I come out of there smoking a cigarette with hemorrhoid guts all over me.
You don't even need lube for that. It is already very wet back there.
Just that back view of him parting his hair the whole time. I was getting rammed.
Use all of your period sex tricks.
What'd you say, Frog?
Just that was enough.
You want me to stop? You throwing in the towel, you pussy?
Hemorrhoid guts.
Oh yeah, hemorrhoid guts, dude, all over me, man.
Just to double down, you have to do it after his 19 hours in the air flying AC.
Who cares? Who cares? Let's go. Just for the humiliation factor, I'm down. John said he had 500 in his jeans.
He did say that. Yeah, he's like, because Vince is like, why would you care if I went through your jeans? You know, what do you have in there that I'm going to find? He's like, well, I had $500. Like, do you think I'm going to steal your money? He's like, no.
Yeah.
Vince is not stealing money from John. That's
It's $500 and an extra chromosome in there.
that's not the game for Vince is stealing money from whackpackers.
Right. Hey, Shuli, Carl, Spud, you all kill it every week trashing this doll. I used to work apartment complex maintenance. Hope this wet garbage gets evicted. Benzona, thank you.
I mean, at this point, he's not going to change his ways. He's already gotten the letter saying, listen, this is a problem. We need you to change. And he has met that with, fuck you. Go fuck yourselves. I'm not changing. He's probably going to get evicted, right?
Well, you remember a few weeks ago, he was bragging about his ironclad agreement that he signed with this apartment. Like he had his lawyers look over this rental agreement that there's no way they could ever evict him.
There's gotta be a
I'm sorry.
bio-
Legal Shield has informed me that you have no justice or jurisdiction here. Thank you.
There's got to be a
Define
biohazard clause.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure black mold cuts through iron.
Yeah, I always say the day he moves out, it's going to look like the end of E.T. People are just going to be in full hazmat suits, tubes coming in, going out.
Your Honor, define unlivable.
Well, your apartment looks like the Upside Down from Stranger Things, so
Yeah.
we're gonna have to ask you to leave.
Can somebody make a video of John on Skid Row? He's still doing his show, but it's from a tent.
Yeah. It's literally somebody said, I can't wait to watch next month's podcast when he's under a freeway bridge and his guests are other homeless people.
And Dawn. And of course,
yeah.
Dawn.
And Brian Karam.
Brian Karam still got his back.
Yeah. Yep. Looney Tunes critic gifted one. Thank you, Looney.
Really, dues payer?
Yeah. Does Canoga Park have rent control? If so, he might be violating that by having a home somewhere else that could be grounds for eviction. Let me tell you, you literally have to kill somebody to get evicted out of Canoga Park.
Yeah.
It's not a great area. I know the area very well. Not
Pays
good.
$1,400 a month, he says, for
Yeah.
that place. And then he says he pays
$1,420.
a mortgage of $1,600 in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
If I was his financial advisor, I'd say, John, I know you have that one audition coming up, but let's just move to Florida. Let's just get rid of the Canoga Park thing.
And I'm sorry, there's no, if he has the money, as a almost 60-year-old man still paying a mortgage, if he has the money, any financial advisor would say, it's 8% interest on the mortgage right now. It's probably best to put over, because I don't think he's making more than 8% in the market. Whatever
No,
he's doing with
he
his
bought a
loads of cash.
$440,000 house, or roughly it's somewhere around there. He claims he put 44% down or whatever it is. He's going to end up paying with the interest. I'm sure it's a 30-year mortgage, because that's the other thing too. He's bragging about how low his mortgage payment is. That just means it's a 30-year mortgage. Like, you shouldn't have a 30-year mortgage when it's you and your mom on the fucking. Anyway, so all that means is that he's going to end up paying over $1 million for this house. That's not a good investment. Well, he's not renting it out. He's not making any money from it.
Well, maybe you didn't hear though. He just bought a bunch of stock, and it wasn't beef or chicken stock, Ray. He was telling
Ayo.
Ray that he like
When he
bought-
was bragging about buying stock and explaining to Ray what stock meant. Holy shit. Idiot.
bad fucking joke.
I sold all my crypto today.
Did you?
I never thought I would do it. I was looking at what the crypto was doing. I'm like, oh, fuck. I might as well get out now. I've never seen it spike like this in the last 2 years. Get the fuck out of here.
Get it. Congrats.
Don't tell the IRS, Spud.
Yeah, Looney
You
Tunes
narc.
gifted 3, 1, 2,
Look at
and
this.
3.
Can you, Joseph Von Garble? Wait. Uh-oh. Wait. Hold on.
Love that one.
Uh-oh. Keep up the great work, boys. Cardiff rules, TSN and WATP doing the Lord's work. Carl, tell Grant I said hi. That is Uncle Jack.
We'll do, Uncle Jack.
Oh, yeah, Looney Tunes gifting a couple more. Bring it up to
I never
5.
had a desire to go into the middle. What?
The military one might be my favorite drop.
Great.
Have a good weekend, everyone. Hitman Dan for $2, or as we know him, Vince. Thank you. Stuttering John will be screaming Noga in heaven soon. Yeah, well, she screams back up there, so get ready, John. If John's kids don't want
Wait. John's gonna go to Jew heaven?
That's right. Just to really punish him. Also known as hell, a lot of people call it. But if John's kids don't want any part of this, then why did he put an insult and his son's photo on national television? Well, why do bits about your kids on stage if they're innocent?
And let's not forget
Mike Morse.
there's a podcast episode of the Artie Lang Show.
Yep.
Never made its way to the internet because even Dan Filato said, "Are you sure you want to have this on the internet, John? I mean, you're saying a lot of shit about your kids." So no one's made fun of John's kids more than John, and that is a fact, Jack.
And the fact that that's not out there is the evidence of humanity in the Dabbleverse. Like, this nuclear option could come out.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's still not out
Dan's
there.
a good guy. He did that. I mean, John told him to put it out, and Dan waited till the next day and asked him again. And John went, "Oh yeah, probably not," because John was a case of beer in at that point.
I can tell you a few podcasters that I know have heard this, and they have compared it to the day the clown died, the Jerry Lewis Holocaust. Imagine
I was waiting for it.
Harry Shearer doing an interview going, "I've heard the Stuttering John episode." He goes, "It is not. You don't want none of that." Stuttering John will be seeing and screaming. Oh, yeah, we did that one. Thank you.
You mean Jew heaven?
Do it again. Cardiff, you meant April 15th, right?
It's different in Minnesota. You have to.
No, I meant he would be 2 weeks late.
Correct.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Good save.
Is it too late to get an extension?
That's how the show starts. Potato Skins World Order, PSWO. Thank you. If you have diabetic symptoms, a piss test will tell the doc if your body is processing the sugar in your system properly.
Interesting.
Got it. How about Stuttering John trying to clown the way AC looks? Cumia. Anthony Cumia looks great and healthy. Stuttering John is shaped, looks like a gray colored Humpty Dumpty. That's a big thing for him lately, is calling people ugly and fat, and he looks like he's on death's door. And this guy has a fucking goiter on the side of his neck. It's amazing.
That's a weird thing he's got growing out of his neck. You guys have been pointing this out, but it's also in that same spot with that patch of hair he can't get to with his razor.
Yeah.
Is there a connection between those two things? There's always this clump of hair hanging out. Even when he shaves, there's this clump of hair. And this
it looks like there's a marsh growing in this flat, calm water, you know? And
it looks like Cape Coral, actually.
He's turning into it. But him going after Cumia, and it's like, again, he's so bad at this. Every time he watches a clip, it's like, oh, look at his eyes. Oh, ears. Oh, hat. Oh, it's the lamest.
Anthony's recovering from open heart surgery, quadruple bypass. And the guy is older than John, and he looks way better by any single measure of it. And he's calling this guy out. It's like, John, do you understand what karma is going to be for you? Your health is definitely going to fail soon.
I think it was Mike or one of us suggested taking 2 pictures, one of John, the day after AC, and one of Cumia that he was goofing on, and take it out on the street and go, one of these guys just had open heart surgery. Who do you think it was?
One of these guys is going to die tomorrow. Point to the one you think it is.
Yeah. It's insanity.
Oh, shit.
Stuttering John,
You can lead a gift horse to water, but you can't look in his glass mouth.
Right.
Amen, John. Shuli, promise me that we will start with Stuttering John's first Howard Stern appearance the day after he dies. Fun coverage can be included, of course. This is for the Frog. Make notes, Frog. Pegleg wants that.
I assumed he meant the $5 was for me.
Oh, never. I'm still pissed Dawn was forced out of Motley Crue. Yeah.
She does not like Stay.
That might be the best
13
one.
forever.
That might be the best one. Love TSN, Carl, and you, Potato, FSJ, FVTL, F anyone bad talking you three. Oh, also, piss test is for kidneys. John lies about height, kept lifter shoes on. Oh, he's got lifts. That's another thing, people. Every guy affiliated with the mob and 1% motorcycle clubs is a cop calling snitch without repercussions. Why is this so hard to understand, guys? Monkey, I'm with you. Take it easy. You're all
The-
just
the
jealous.
first rule of motorcycle club is you don't talk about motorcycle club.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
You're all just jealous because Stuttering John makes big bugs. What's a couple grand or large if you created the ecosystem for your own roach species? Hashtag credits. Thank you, Dang.
I
Mr.
love that Dang
Spittle.
Dang is swapping out his avatar nonstop throughout the show to just give us a nice variety throughout. I love that.
There's
Do you
a few
remember-
people that do that.
So-
Yeah, go ahead.
So do you remember when the roaches were the funniest thing about John? We don't even talk about the roaches anymore.
We've all moved on.
It's not even on the first 5 pages of Craziest John Things book.
Yeah.
Is roaches walking freely. Hey, Clyde. John gets his facts about finances of WATP and TSN from KB. KB is a slightly higher IQ version of John, but at their core, they're the same man. 100%.
Yes.
Do you think John's kid likes John's mom? Isn't she complicit with hiding money from his family? It's a great question. I don't know. You know, I wouldn't be too happy if I was the kids and I
There were chats. There were way a long time ago. There were chats from the mom saying, "Say hi to the kids for me." So maybe there isn't a lot of contact with Asa. What's Mike's wife's name?
Asa.
What?
What? John's born wrong daughter. So gift in one. Thank you very much. Nemirovsky. The house is owned joint with Assy.
Yep.
If she dies, he gets the house and his siblings get nothing. If he dies first, his siblings get it from Assy. They're his pay pigs getting him drunk, getting him to drink to death.
Oh, that's the thing we haven't even talked about yet on the show. So much time has passed since AC. We forget John was bragging he didn't have to buy any beer while he was there. And I've been bringing up on our show on WATP, we talked about this, where Shuli made a mention when they'd go out on the road with whack packers, they had to tell the club owners, don't let people buy beers for these guys because everyone wants to get the whack packers drunk and watch them act a fool.
Yeah.
And so
Beetle.
you literally have to say like, no, you can't do that. We need them not shitting their pants before 9 p.m. We have a late
Well,
show.
Listen, I'm all for a guy shitting on stage. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
You know, that's how I made my bones. We all know that. But my thing is, they don't know that at 3 a.m. when Beetle wants to walk home to Jersey in Texas, I have to be outside in the hotel parking lot with him, talking him off that bridge, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we would tell them, if somebody tells you I want to buy a shot for Beetle, put soda in it. Put soda in a shot glass.
But that's the thing John doesn't understand. He thinks he's the biggest celebrity.
Right.
And so, yeah, they just want to buy me drinks because they love me. They think I'm awesome. No. They want to watch you get drunk and make a fool of yourself.
Well,
This is why whack packers go out in public. This is the whole point.
But did you see the tweet from Uncle Rick and Mommy or whatever she goes by now, where she bought 2 Coronas, put them down on the table. John just helped himself to one.
Yes.
And he said, "Oh, how's it my fault? Everybody's bringing me beers. They're bringing you beers so they can be the one to videotape, to record you falling on your face in the casino. That's why they're bringing you beers."
Also, John called her Miami, and now he's leaning into it because he's pretending like, no, I know, it's just my nickname for her.
Yeah. Fort Lauderdale Mama. Hello.
I always say schedule.
Pernt, Dabble Pernt.
Get to the pernt.
What Not Chaser, my favorite monkey around. Thank you.
Behind my paywall.
Mr. Crumb, thank you so much for gifting one.
You dumb fuck.
Florida state law won't allow garnishment of pensions. OJ went there after the civil case. Interesting.
Right. I remember that now. Yes.
You're the man, Cardiff. My kids love the potato. So do mine. I really do.
Are you going to say hi to Shuli's kids?
Hi, Shuli's kids.
Thank you.
Sing them happy birthday. Their birthdays are coming up this year.
I'll do that on Patreon.
Okay.
Thank you.
They're
Kids, you're going to have to pay for it. Do you guys think John always looked at his wife and kids as burdens? I don't think he looked at them as burdens. I think he looked at them as like obstacles of getting in the way of what John wants to do.
I think he looked at them as servants of people that would clean up after him and bring him beers.
Correct. I mean, he
Well,
writes
his
about it
wife,
in his book.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
His
literally a
wife-
chapter in his book about the birth of, I think it's Oscar was born on New Year's Day or whatever it
Yeah.
was. They were having a New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, it was Oscar.
And she was 9 months pregnant, cooking food for everyone.
Yeah.
And then it's like her water boy. He's like, really? During our party?
Yeah. What a potty pooper.
Yeah. You're ruining another party, Susanna. Really?
And then he unplugged the TV right before midnight. And
one of the greatest bits ever. Stuttering John's Brown Eye of the Rat. The smell of success. 6 pairs of dirty tidy whities, 1 pair of pissed covered pants. Vince the lawyer donated shirts and several stop Spirit Airlines flights. That's what we can only all dream of. That's right.
That's why we're all jealous.
A failure.
John says that we goof on him because we're jealous of him, and he's right. I mean, who wouldn't want that lifestyle? Amazing.
This occurs to me just now, and I don't like giving Vince the loser any kind of credit. But when John says that my flight was going from LA to Fort Lauderdale to Atlantic City, is that because somebody who was paying for the flight booked the worst possible version of that flight?
Yes.
Well,
For him
hold
to
on.
have to
It was
ride?
actually, it was LA to Fort Lauderdale to Orlando to
And
Philadelphia.
And then Philadelphia. You're right.
he bought 3 separate tickets. There's no way that was a connection.
Right.
Like he bought 3 individual flights.
Travelocity.com doesn't have that kind of a sense of humor.
Yeah. Vince's
Okay,
like, I need to book a flight for a friend, and I really got to upset him. Can you help me out?
There's no toggle that says I want 4+ stops.
Nobody's looking for that.
Well, I got to give him credit for that then, if that's why that.
Oh no,
was
he's always
like that.
trolling.
Yeah.
That's what is so brilliant about all of this. And John, if you're listening, Vince is always trolling you all the time, every time. And John goes back and forth. Carl says you're always trolling me, but you're a great guy. No. He gives you money because that feeds all of this, you idiots.
Yeah.
You keep falling for it every fucking time. He's trolling you every time. The best was, and we played it on our show this week, my favorite clip was when, they're partying in the suite and John, who's just a lonely loser, just wants a friend in the world. This Vince guy's been fucking with him for years. He kicked him off his show years ago. And he goes, but Vince, you're my best friend of the Dabbleverse, right? Or I'm your best friend of the Dabbleverse. And Vince just goes, no, Bob. It's fucking great.
Anyone else is?
It was great. 'Cause then John immediately just goes, all right, thanks for the super sticker, 4792.
Looks like he turned on me.
I could sleep on a fucking log.
What a weird brag. The 4 horsemen. Woo! Let's go, Mr. J. Janet, the evil lawyer. John's address on Google Earth is an empty lot.
It's a new build. It's very possible.
How do you turn a dishwasher into a snowblower asking for a friend?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we all have to answer.
I'll text Grant.
Stuttering John.
Snow dick.
Stuttering John has become a human beer brewer. Grew like yeast too. Yeah, he really. He's something else. He's on a whole nother level these days. Doesn't disappoint. I will give him that. Happy dabbling to all my favorite white trash losers. I know what you want.
White trash loser. You white trash loser.
I'm glad you played that, Shuli, because in the third hour, we were talking about Foreigner in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Do they deserve it? Call in.
Phone lines are open. Give us a call. You're fat and you talk like a moron. The Stuttering John story.
I hope so. I want some credit for that.
Sorry for my last super chat. Guess I've been hanging around Gotti too much. And last but certainly not least, Barkley is the best dog. I love that Spud's eyes. R.I.P. Bob Levy. Thank you, Barkley.
We already miss you, Bob.
Yes. Well, listen, we've come to that point in the show. Is there any last thing you guys want to bring up before we get out of here? Because I got to everything on my list.
Yeah, I got everything on my list. Again, I'll just say that I do have a third angle of the KB Bob Levy fight from the Borgata that we'll be dissecting tomorrow on Who Are These Podcasts. And you can watch it live if you're a YouTube member on our Patreon or on our Supercast, 2 p.m. Eastern when we do our shows on Saturdays.
Andy, you got your plugs, buddy?
I'd love to plug allapologiespodcast.com. Everything, All Apologies is there. We got full episodes for free, and then the Patreon features the video version of the content and free mini-sodes. We're working on revisiting the Taryn Manning talking about eating ass for the mini-sode, and then we're also going to cover Monique going after Oprah about, black on black crime for Black History Month happening on over on All Apologies podcast. So please check it out.
Cardiff.
First, let me thank you for inviting me on today. I was giving up Stuttering John for Lent. I've lasted a day and a half. I'm back. But CarlsonComedy.com. Get tickets March 9th. Subreddit Surfing Live in Rochester, New York. And Patreon.com/CardiffElectric. And ArizonaBakeCandy.com. Go buy some candy.
Yeah.
Definitely. Doug,
And,
same thing. Apologies is opening, by the way, for subreddit surfing.
That's right.
Ooh, nice.
CarlsonComedy.com.
And Carl's stand-up debut will be opening for All Apologies podcast. So
Yeah, it's another fucking consequence I have to do. This goddamn creep off. Why did I agree to this? Cardiff is writing my stand-up set for March 9th at Comedy Carlson.
I may send you a couple things.
I'll take them.
All right. BSShowLive.com. We got some gigs up there. Go check out where we're at. February 24th. Email us, Pennsylvania. Email us, theater, or Emmaus, or whatever. Go check it out. Go get your tickets. We're Uncle Vinny's March 29th, and then Governor's in Long Island March 30th. I hope Dan comes down. Hitman Dan and hangs out with us. You're more than welcome, Dan. You're invited to come party with us, pal.
Do they have wheelchair access?
Godspeed to Dawn.
Yeah, no, just don't bring Mrs. COVID. It's a boys' night only, all right? That's all I'm asking. But yes, BSShowLive.com. Hit like before you get out of here. Hit subscribe. Go support everybody. Support all our pals. You guys are awesome. We'll see you around this weekend. Shout out to Frog, Discount Don, all the people in the back of every show that help make it happen. And thank you guys. Have a good afternoon. Bye.